Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have a top 5 video for you guys on GT Online. So this Thursday, the new DLC is coming out, which is apparently drip feed for the Chop Shop DLC, but it apparently is like its own DLC in a way, and that is going to be the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid. Now, about the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid is most of us are speculating this is going to be some kind of heist exactly with some kind of payout, setup missions, but every single time one of these DLCs come out, I do these videos in which I basically talk about things that I think the DLC should have and they shouldn't have. And this is, in my opinion, what I think will make these DLCs great. If you guys enjoy this video, do drop a like. Also, make sure to send this video to Rockstar's feedback page if you agree with me, because Rockstar can always, add more things to the game along the way. So thank you guys for watching. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Top 5 things the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid DLC should and shouldn't do. Let's get started here. Starting off at number 5, we have let the host adjust heist cuts. Because according to TesFun2, he has a track record of being correct also. I will link his post down below if you want to check it out. According to him, the host gets $500,000 payout, which I'm not necessarily against the payout for the host. It's not going to be that long of a heist probably. It's not going to be a big DLC. So $500,000 for the host is fine. But then what gets my eye is when he says that $50,000 for associates. Now, this is subject to change, so we don't know what the full payout is going to be if this is even the case. But I think that it's kind of unfair if the host is getting $500,000 and the associates are getting just $50,000. I mean, I think the associates should get at least $100,000 for helping out. That's just what I think. I think that no one is going to really want to help with these heists if you're only going to get $50,000 while the host is going to get 10 times more than you for basically doing the exact same work. Unless the host has to put some money into the heist to start the heist, then it might be something different. But still, I think $50,000 for just the associates, I think that's too little of a cut personally. Next at number 4, we have don't overcomplicate it and make it too long. Now, in TesFun2's post also, he talks about the career progress challenge for this heist. And in it, he says that the challenge is going to be to complete the heist in under 45 minutes. So this is going to be one time that you're going to be doing this. You're not going to have to, complete the career progress challenge again. I don't know whether there's going to be an elite challenge or not. But if this is the case, if it's 45 minutes for the career progress challenge, that can mean one of two things. That can mean either A, this career progress challenge is really easy and you can complete the heist no problem in that time, or B, the heist is actually really long and could be complicated and 45 minutes would be rushing it. And I'm just going to say, please do not do this, because nobody wants to spend, close to an hour long on a finale. Nobody wants to do that. I don't mind, 20-minute or, even 30-minute finales, but please don't make us give us a finale that's going to be, nearly an hour long. Nobody wants to play a single mission that's an hour long. Another perfect example of a heist finale that's way too long is the Doomsday Heist. Doomsday Heist Act 3, I mean, look at that heist. That's ridiculous. You're rushing through it. You're fighting so much AI that basically instantly headshot you. The AI are so accurate. You're constantly falling to the ground. You're shooting them back up. You have to kill multiple juggernauts throughout the complex. Then you have to fight through these really annoying room, like where the computers are, where you, like, when you go through the doors, you barely have enough space to actually get through because there's so many guys in the balconies. Once you clear that out, one person has to hack while everybody else has to cover them doing this mini game while you have an infinite amount of enemies chasing after you. Then you have to chase Avon all the way to the top, get on a jetpack and blow him up. And those missions usually take around more than half an hour to complete. So I'm much more fine with doing like a Cayo Perico for half an hour or a casino heist, because while those heists might have a lot of objectives to complete, the objectives are not as overly complicated as, for example, like Doomsday or Prison Break. So that's all I'm asking with this is, don't make the heist too complicated and too hard. We want something simple and challenging too. We want multiple approaches, which I'm going to talk about later, but don't make it extremely complicated and long. Next at number 3, we have Let Us Do It Solo. I think this is something that the majority of the GTA Online community are requesting. I'm not against, always being able to bring in a team or even being able to carry more loot as a team. That actually encourages more people to play. However, though, I don't think the heist should be locked to having, at least two people. I think it should always be, as a solo option, because that's why I think that Cayo Perico is the ultimate DLC in GT Online. Despite how many times this DLC has been nerfed, the reason I think this is the best DLC ever is because, one, it adds a brand new location, but two, because you can do the entire thing solo. You do not need to interact with any other player. You can just do the entire heist solo and collect, basically 100% of the profit that you're coming to get. Now, if you play with a second player, you might be able to access certain areas like gold, for example, but the option to do it solo is there. And Rockstar has listened to the community, because they have actually added mini heists that are solo also. When they added the auto shop garage heists, that was basically solo that you could do. And also Rockstar added the chop shop, those, chop shop robberies. Those are also solo that you can do. So chances are this DLC you can probably play solo. Like I said, I'm not against being able to play with a team, but I think that an option to play solo should be there and available. Moving on to number 2, we have Don't Ruin Vincent. So Vincent is the new character that is in this DLC, but Vincent is actually technically not even a new character. He's a character that was in only in GT Online, and he was the head of the security at the Diamond Casino and Resort. And when the Casino DLC came out, Vincent was actually one of the best things about that DLC. He was the most popular character in that DLC. While Tom Connors was annoying, Vincent actually made that DLC a lot better. He was this cool big guy in charge of security. He had a nice attitude, good personality. He was a friendly guy. People in general just liked him. He was cool. And what happened is, at the very end of the DLC, he gets fired by the Duggins after he put in so much work for it. And a lot of people were pissed about that. And when the casino heist was actually coming out, a lot of people thought that this was actually, Vincent was going to be a huge part of it, and he was basically going to be helping you to plan out the whole heist. But instead, what happens is you get a small cutscene with Vincent, where he is some kind of, rent-a-mall cop, and, a car gets stolen, and you just have to get the car back, and then Vincent just basically gives you access to the security cameras in the casino. That's it. And you never see Vincent again. And you can replay this mission as many times as you want, but you only need to do the mission once. That's it. And so you never have to do it again. So for, a character that they just basically fired, they got rid of out of the casino, now he gives you just one single mission just to give you the cameras. Doesn't even help you with any of the planning at all, considering he was the former, head of security. He would know a lot more than just the cameras. He would be a perfect access for the heist. And that's why I said, that I made a video, top 5, wasted characters in the past, characters that had, greater potential. And I talked about Vincent in that one. It was a character that was completely wasted. He should have been a bigger part of the casino heist, but it looks like now he's going to be coming back here. He has a much bigger role, and this is going to be his heist. He's in the police department, going to be telling you about this cartel operation that's located at Cluckin. So we want to see Vincent. We want to see him in a lot of cutscenes. We want to have phone calls with him. We don't want to just see one cutscene with him, and then that's it. We're never going to see him again for the rest of the heist. We want to see multiple cutscenes with him and multiple phone calls, and maybe even add him as a contact on your phone. Maybe give him some kind of new special abilities also. You never know. And number 1. The number 1 thing that I think this DLC should have is multiple approaches. According to TestFund, most likely we will be getting multiple approaches, a stealth and aggressive approach. And I really, really hope that this is the case, because the reason that multiple approaches are great for any kind of heist is because it adds tons of replayability. Because if you're doing a heist only one way, every single time, the heist gets boring. That's why the original heist got boring so quickly, in Doomsday Heist as well, because you're always doing it the exact same way. You don't have variation in how you basically go about it. You want to plan it a specific way, do a different kind of approach, like in the single player. You couldn't do that with the original heist. Rockstar improved that with the casino heist. That's why the casino heist was such a success. You had, stealth options, silent and sneaky. You had aggressive option, and you also had Big Con, where you use disguises. So there's 3 different ways to go about it. And as for Cayo Perico had just so many different approaches for it. You go in, with the Kasatka, going through the grate, with a scuba diving suit, land at the airstrip like I'm doing here, and then, get a disguise afterwards. Use the truck to sneak into the compound. Maybe use the grappling hook. There was just so many variations with Cayo Perico, which is what made the heist great. And I noticed a lot of people saying that Cayo Perico is boring. They say, oh, it's boring, it's boring. I think Cayo Perico is a better DLC and a more fun DLC than the Casino Heist. Don't get me wrong. I think Casino Heist is a great DLC too, but I think Cayo Perico is a better DLC DLC because it's the big map and it's the different variations. There's so many different ways that you can just basically go about it. Grappling hook, disguise, coming parachuting with a plane. There's just so many different things that you can do in that heist. And the people that are saying that Cayo Perico is a boring heist, the problem I have is that these people, whenever I join their heists, what they're doing is they're doing the exact same thing every single time. They're just doing scuba, entrance to Kasatka, use a scuba diving suit, swim in, into the tunnel, into the grate, and that's it. And then they exit. They just swim out on the corner of the island. That's how they get out and get in every single time. And I noticed that when I do different approaches and I do different exits, it's a lot more fun. Sure, it might be a little bit more challenging, but I'm having a lot more fun not doing the same exact thing over and over again. So if you're one of those people that thinks Cayo Perico is boring, try doing the different approaches. And for the people that say, oh, you can't get Elite Challenge Professional if you don't do the submarine approach. Yes, you can, because in this heist, I started out at the airstrip. I came in with the plane. I took a disguise, I took this slow truck, I drove across the map, I grabbed 2 bags of cocaine, basically, or 2, bins of cocaine, I should say, and then I got to the compound, drove in with that truck, got in, hacked the thing, still went into Rubio's safe, got the, the main target, and, I got out and I swam out. So if you do other approaches, it might be a little challenging, but you can still get Elite Challenge. And this brings me back to this heist. This heist should have different approaches, because you have different approaches, you increase the variation of the mission, and people are going to want to replay the mission, because if it's the exact same thing, people are just going to want to are going to be less inclined to do it. And from this train that we see in this DLC, it looks like this train is actually going to be a big part of that DLC. The train's going to have some kind of huge part of it. So maybe we can sneak in on the train, or maybe we can actually take one of those chicken trucks and we can sneak in with that, or maybe, go in guns blazing through the front door. I can imagine a bunch of different possibilities. So please, Rockstar, give us a few different options on this. I'm not expecting this heist to be, Cayo Perico, 2.0. I'm expecting this heist to probably be something more similar to like an auto shop contract, but please at least try to give us more variation in this, give us this different approaches, and let us do this thing solo, and let us also adjust the cuts. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys agree with me on the points that I'm making, please take this video and actually send it to Rockstar's feedback page. They're probably not going to change anything, but I mean, at least it's worth a try, because they can still change things in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, do drop a like and, share it with somebody else that you think might agree with it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.